Before I go into this video, I just want to say this is a complete and utter joke. What I'm about to talk about is not to be taken seriously. It's not meant to offend anybody. It was an idea given to me by the 1316 killer in a really, really odd way that I don't even think he knew it was going to come up. It was like some of the talk that he's been doing about certain things, and it's really just been, it was an inspiration. He's been talking a lot about certain games that I wish I had access to years ago that he had access to, more the RPG side than anything else. But yes, so 1316. I just want to say thank you for the idea. Indirectly, it was in combination with some of the videos, and I was thinking about another video you made, talking about your friend winning the shotgun. That was quite a while back, but the two just clicked in my head. So, man, I really apologize, but I gotta thank you for the idea. So, I'm gonna get into it. Here we go. My brothers and my sisters, there's been one of us among us who's been preaching about the holy books, the books of Genesis. Can I get an amen? Amen, hallelujah. Now, brothers and my sisters, one of the first times I've heard more and more about these holy books was from Sega City Universe, Vampire Mike. Can I get an amen, Brother Mike? Amen, Brother Mike, you preach it. But then, I heard the preaching of another man. A man, a simple man by the name of Joe. But who, more importantly, we know is the 1316 killer. Because this man, he strikes down the trolls, and he brings the talk of the good books, some more. And it inspired me. Lord, I was looking upon my shelves all around me, and I saw a copy. After he talked about the very same copy for the Sega CD, and I said to myself, I have the copy of this game on the Genesis on cartridge. And then a voice came from my computer screen. It said, talk about this game. Talk about the holy book. And brothers and sisters, I'm talking about Echo, however you want to call it, the dolphin. Praise the dolphin. And I looked inside and I found this. The only thing that was in it was one of the books of Genesis. I want you to put your hands on the screen right now, and I want you to feel its power coursing through you. For one of the best games on the Sega Genesis next to the mighty, the unholiest game to show us the temptations of evil and how to beat it. The dolphin. Yes. Echo, what do you better call him? The dolphin brought light into my life when I first saw him on a screen. And I knew right then and there, my brothers, my sisters, preach it, brother, preach it, that I must bring forth the book of the dolphin. And the killer has been talking about the holy books. And a lot of people have been talking about the holy books. But he's one of the ones who cares about the books. And one of the commandments, that is, thou shalt not damage thine holy books of the Genesis, or any of the cartridge for that matter. Because to do so is blasphemy upon our community. And my brothers and my sisters, these books are sacred for a reason. Testify, brother, testify. My brothers and my sisters, I'm here to let you know right now, these books are an important thing because they tell us what we need to know. These are a remnant the day gone by. And these books used to fill these packages. We don't see anymore. Gone are the days of these books. And it tells me on the back of Batman Returns. And I'll tell you, my brothers and my sisters, seeing this book in this condition, knowing it was in here, remembering it. Remember going through it and seeing pages where I could jot down passwords. We've forgotten about the passwords. We've forgotten about the clues that we can write down to help us with the games. These were before the internet, when we had access to facts and walkthroughs and everything else. Blessed were those days, my brothers and my sisters. Blessed were those days. Now, with the swipe of a finger on a phone or a touch screen of a tablet or what have you, these relics that need to be taken care of are dying away. If you have one of these, treat it with kindness, treat it with respect, like you would do one of these blasphemous things. Not that you look up what's in here. And with that, my brothers and my sisters, I bid you farewell. And remember, this summon was to remind you of one thing. Take care of your stuff, alright? Seriously, I don't want to have to pay buttloads of dollars to get these replaced. Just like the killers mentioned. $30, $40 for books? Come on, get real. Yeah, I'm actually serious. Like, the last time I bought a game that actually had an instruction manual in it was a DS, and that was just barely if. Oh, I just also noticed. Yeah, they took off the hanging taggy. No, I just tossed them on the bed. I actually put the. See, I'm not stupid. See, everything's in here. I wish the poster came with it. But I mentioned it before in the previous video that how I got this, and I thank the guy greatly. Look, I wanted to take a moment and just say something. You know, due to some things in my past, I didn't have the chance to play this on the Genesis when it came out. Games like Mortal Kombat and that. I had the arcades to try to play that on. This was an arcade. I actually played this on. It was. What was it? Like. This and Comic Zone were on a demo pack for the computer. And I remember playing those on that. So I didn't get very far in this. And this is just a game that I love, that I would love to finish. Because, I don't know, it's just something about it. It's like Altered Beast. It's not a game I've been able to finish, but at the same time, I love. You know, and for anybody who's wondering why I got the inspiration for the killer on this, you know, he's talked about conditions that people are selling this stuff in. And, you know, like you see this 8 megs of aquatic excitement with password save. 8 megabytes. You know, nowadays 8 megabytes isn't a lot, but back then, that's what you had. And I really think there are people that don't appreciate these games anymore. Anymore we see games being sold, you know, like, oh, you know, the cartridge is so, you know, it's cheap, but how many people have the instruction booklet? Or how many people have an actual case? Honestly, I would love to get a case and instruction manual for a reasonable price for my copy of Altered Beasts. I would love to have that, you know, but it is what it is. I got into the game too late, and by the time I got into it, stuff like this, hard to find. But like I said, I got this from someone. Thank you, Old School Brian, for remembering that I love this game. So that's the whole preaching thing. Was more he had talked about in one video about how a friend of his won a shotgun at church, and he's talking about, you know, the way people treat games and how you see stuff nowadays, and the two things just clicked. Like, I had this image in my head of like somebody preaching about taking care of your stuff, because when I was growing up, that's what you were taught to do. You were taught to treat with your things with respect. If somebody, you borrow something from someone, the same thing. You treated it with respect. You know, this is something that, you know, I'm going to keep in the best condition possible. Not only because it's a game that I enjoy, but it was also sent to me by, you know, someone who's not on, I haven't seen on Facebook in a long time. I haven't seen on YouTube in a long time. Who's a great gamer. You know, I knew he had some stuff going on, so I don't know what happened. But, you know, that's one reason I'm going to cherish this as well. Because he remembers stuff about people. And you don't find a lot of people like that in the community. There are people, you know, Vampire Mike from Sega's Universe. You know, there's stuff we've talked about. Ranger Black 29. You know, she's seen stuff about me on certain social media. There are other people, you know, so it's really the people who watch your channel and in kind you watch back, they remember the stuff about you and the kindness that you give them. That's really what imparts, and that's what they remember the most. That's it, everybody. I'll talk to you later. Take care. Bye.